Hello everyone, my name is Avinash Choudhary and let's today talk about Commonwealth Games. You all might have read many articles in the newspapers and magazines. Recently I have read an article in a magazine called The Economist, and it gives various reasons why India couldn't complete the Commonwealth Games related projects in time, like there is corruption in India, terrorism and many others. And then there are a lot of people in India which say that we couldn't do these things and we couldn't complete Commonwealth Games related projects in time or as per the set standards because we are a democratic nation. And I think whenever we are not able to do something in India, we come up with democracy related excuses. We say that we are this is the democratic tax which we are paying, and we say that democracy slows down the speed of doing projects, or it slows down the speed of decision making. I would say that so whenever we fail to do anything, we come up with democracy related excuses. But why do we forget democracy when we have things like honor killing, when we have more than 100 citizens being shot by the security forces in Kashmir? Why do we forget democracy when some people demolish a masjid? And why do we forget democracy when we have riots in Gujarat and riots in Odisha? Why do we forget democracy when around 8 right to information activists being killed in a year? Why do we forget democracy on all such issues? And then for a moment I would again remind you of the statement which some people make that democracy slows down the speed of decision making, though I believe that it is a decision making ability issue or a leadership issue. It's not an issue with democracy. For a moment, let's agree that democracy slows down the speed of decision making. If we are aware of this, that democracy slows down the speed, then why don't we start earlier? Let's take an example here. Suppose that a communist nation takes 2 years to complete a project, and the same project takes 4 years for its completion in a democratic nation. So what should the democratic nation do to be a responsible nation? It should start 2 years earlier, and that's it. Rather than coming up with issues like democracy slows down the speed. So what if it slows down the speed? Start earlier if it slows down the speed. Let's take one more example of South Africa, the nation which organized one of the most gigantic sports event on this planet and one of the most popular sports on this planet, that's FIFA World Cup. If that nation can organize such an event, democracy doesn't stop us taking inspiration from South Africa. Now let's talk about some other issues. Some journalists say, and some of the intellectually rich people say that media is being too critical about India and about the organizing committee of Commonwealth Games in India. If these very renowned journalists or these intellectually rich people are really serious of whatever they say, then I would say that there is one more problem with we Indians, and that is that we are too complacent about whatever we do. I am very sure that if there would be research on the degree of complacency of various nations, then India would be ranked as the most complacent nation on this planet. While concluding, I would just say that democracy is a very respected word, and it is even a more respected form of governance. So do things which make democracy proud of itself. Set examples which show that a democratic nation can organize events and can do things better than any other form of governance. Do things which reflect that democracy is indeed the best form of governance. Don't just talk so.